Hey guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so your boy is grinding the World Tournament. I know a lot of people out there are, so let me know down below in the comments how you're getting on. So we're just going to have a nice simple video today because I've got to take a quick break from the grind to record this, but I didn't want to not put a video up today. So I put out a tweet, it was late last night for me, just after midnight, saying, you know, we all know that the World Tournament definitely should be fixed in some way, should be revamped, should be redesigned, but how do you think that they should do that? What ideas would you have? It's something we've talked about on previous episodes of the Dokkan podcast on 5/9, and, you know, it's something the community's talked about for a long time. So I thought it'd be something interesting to get a bunch of people's thoughts down here in a video. And it's a nice, easy video to make while I continue to grind and hopefully don't lose too many places. Because I'm aiming for a top 100 finish. So let me know down below if you think we'll manage to make it. But we'll see how it goes. So let's go through. We got 281 likes. There's a whole bunch of comments on here. I know Garesh hit us with a little cheeky comment, which brought a lot of eyes to the tweet. So yeah, we'll just go through. I probably can't read every single comment, but obviously we will go through and see what we've got here. So make it a new mode. So this is kind of like the survival mode thing that we've talked about before, where you fight continuous enemies until you just die. And they get substantially harder. I think that would be a super cool mode to add into the game. I mean, I guess I wouldn't necessarily mind if that replaced the World Tournament. I'm just not sure how that would work in terms of ranking and stuff, because obviously it then would become one of those modes where only the Mega Whales would finish in the higher tiers, because obviously, you know, having a fully rainbowed out, fully linked level team, you're obviously going to be able to get further in that kind of event than other people. So then we got Maverick says at this point they should either increase the rewards and obviously add in more stones. They could also do something similar to Petan Battle, where you select your team and send them to do the work, and all we need to care about is our stamina bars. That would be kind of interesting if it was more of a automatic system, because I think that's people's biggest complaint, is the amount of time you have to play, like especially if you want to hit a reasonable ranking. Whereas if you were able to set up a team and then it was kind of like an auto-play tournament, especially if, like Petan Battle, it could do it while you weren't playing it. Because I know a lot of people also, if you want to grind like heavy to get into high ranks, you know, you still got to set aside some time to do your dailies and stuff like that. Whereas if it was an event that was kind of running in the background automatically, you could still do whatever you wanted on the game or play other games and stuff like that as well. Because, you know, I'm grinding the World Tournament heavy this weekend as well, but I still have to take like 10 to 15 minutes out to like quickly log in and do dailies and stuff on other games. So then we got our boy Smooth says, I'm cool with the preliminaries all the way up to the finals. Let's find a better way to rank people, more competitive way to challenge each other. I think the World Tournament should be the one time we compete against each other. That will make it more fun. Yeah, because World Tournament is like the closest thing we have to PvP, in the sense that you are technically fighting teams that are made by other people. It's just the fact that it's controlled by the AI and they brought like a random friend, which very often doesn't make sense to the team that they built. Again though, like, the conversation about PvP in Dokkan is a whole other thing, and again it definitely favours like the whales more so for other people. Like I dabble here and there in Grand Cross. It's the only other gacha game that I play, and obviously you can very much tell when like new units and stuff in that game come out that the advantage is definitely for the whales when it comes to PvP. So I'd say have it as a traditional bracket-style tournament with maybe 16 teams in one round. I'd argue maybe it taking less stamina to do, like half of what it is now, and have a certain boost units for different... Oh, okay, so in different tournaments, different units would give you bonus points. That actually would be quite an interesting change. Even if they didn't change anything else about the way the format works now, having specific units giving you bonus points would actually be quite interesting, especially because I feel like they would probably make it so that those bonus point units were not AoE units, and then it would obviously add some variety to the team, because you could still bring your team of like LR Broly, Physical Broly, but you're obviously not going to get as many points. I guess they'd have to make it so that bringing a team that has these bonus characters, because you have less AoEs, and so in theory it's then going to take you longer to complete runs of the tournament, the bonus points would obviously have to be worth it. to make up that difference. Because, you know, like with a full team of AoEs, especially with how ridiculous STR LR Broly is now, you can clear through one entire thing like fairly quickly. So then we got TRD says, get rid of preliminaries, get rid of the field, make the rankings by percentage and make card link level from it, or make it less repetitive and give us a reason to strategize with multiple teams instead of the same one for 3 days. Yep, that factors back into a little bit to what we were saying before. So this is a big one that comes up a lot, is get rid of the preliminaries. The preliminaries are the most annoying part by far, because time and time again, like, the enemies will go for each other, will run away from you, and then you end up getting like 1s and 2s on your dice roll, and then the enemy just constantly keeps moving away from you. Fortunately, like, most of the time, once it gets down towards the very last couple of turns, the enemy does try and come for you, but we've all been in those situations before where they just don't, especially in the preliminaries, and then you better hope that you beat the other 2 teams, because the 3rd team gets away and then the round ends, but fortunately you still win as long as you had the most points. And of course that just adds to the overall time it takes to do the runs of the tournament, so that is annoying. But removing the prelims, definitely the biggest one that I've seen. And then get rid of the field is pretty high up in second place. I definitely agree with that. For me, I don't see why they couldn't just make it something like the way Easy A's work, where you just load straight in. I mean, obviously the World Tournament comes from a time back when Dokkan didn't have any events like that. Every single story event or Dokkan Fest event had a map screen, even if it was quite small. So this was kind of just following the same trend, right? But now that we have a bunch of events that don't do that, I think it would be so much easier and so much faster, because apart from picking up some odd extra medals and stuff, the map screen on the World Tournament is completely pointless, because all you're doing is going straight for your opponent. So you might as well just have it be like an Easy A where you just load in straight away. Plus that's less time it takes, because you don't have to load into the map screen, then move and then load into the fight. It just loads into the fight straight away. So for people who are grinding, that's obviously going to reduce the time by a significant amount. So I want the friend units to have their leader skills work, so I don't nearly die every time I get hit. I mean, that's yeah, the leader skills not working, that can be annoying for certain units as well, because they're not getting full key. So you certainly have to build your team very carefully around, you know, taking that into account. The only thing I can say when it comes down to, so I don't die nearly every time I get hit, is just don't ever get hit. That's the strategy that I use when I'm obviously going on this full-on grind. I don't want to ever die and lose my win streak and have to build it back up again. So literally, if I don't have Jacko or Chaozu on rotation to stun everybody, I will either use a Ghost Usher, or I will use the combination of a Barber and a King Yemma. Because if the enemy's attack sealed and you have, sorry, not attack sealed, super attack sealed, and then you use a Yemma to reduce damage by 50%, unless you're getting hit by an LR and you have type disadvantage, you know, you're not going to have to worry about dying. If there is an LR in slot 1, you can always go ahead and double Yemma, and then that pretty much guarantees that you take no damage. But yeah, the way, the main strategy should always be just try to never ever get hit, and then you don't have to worry about those hits killing you. Although of course, like I said, if you get unlucky and get a lot of rotations where you don't have Jacko and Chaozu, or you don't have them, then obviously that is a very item heavy strategy, but it's definitely one way to go. So then we got, what in my opinion needs to be revamped is the speed of the grind. Chasing the AI around the map can be a pain. Yep. So what I would like is consecutive fights like Dokkan events. Yep. And every fight you drop stuff to compensate for the stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like if they got rid of the map and made it like an Easy A where you just go straight into the fight, they could just have random drops at the end of the fight where you get like random medals or Zenny or those like R character cards that you can use as like training fodder. The speed is important because it'll be easier for both people like me that just care to do the bare minimum to get all the missions and enough points for the LR, and for people that want to go hard, and of course the faster they do it the better. Exactly, it benefits everybody. If you just want to complete the 30 million point missions, get those basic rewards and then dip, if it's quicker, you don't have to waste as much time doing it. And the amount of time you have to put into the World Tournament is easily people's like #1 complaint. So category boost, yeah, we kind of talked about it already. Yeah, make the prelim 1v1. Shorten it to 2 days as opposed to 3. I think a lot of people would like that. Halve or completely get rid of the stamina usage. I don't know about getting rid of it. I can see, like, for some people, obviously, to do a full run, it costs like 60 stamina. So depending on how much you have, depending what rank you are, There's only so much you can grind through before you have to use stones and that to refill. So get rid of the map, yep. Have all the difficulties available from the start. This is another big pet peeve, especially for me, is having to get all the way back up to times 30 every time is just really annoying. I don't see why. I guess it doesn't really make a huge difference because you're still playing it the exact same number of times. It just means you start off a little bit slower. But because obviously people who maybe get those first bunch of runs done a lot quicker are obviously going to take a little bit of a lead a little bit faster. But I suppose this one doesn't make as huge of an impact. It would just be a nice little touch, because then even for people who don't have the teams necessarily to do consistent times 30 runs, like if you are a newer player, you can just start at whichever difficulty you want. It doesn't have to be the highest one, so having them all available at the start would be pretty good. The banner needs a revamp. I mean, this is true. This is not quite what I meant in the revamping the World Tournament, but this is very true. The Dragon Ball Saga banner really sucks. The general SSR banner for the World Tournament or the normal pool SSRs banners are pretty decent. The problem is World Tournament units, some of the older ones really aren't so good anymore. Even some of the older ones that already got Awakenings quite a while ago. Whereas obviously some of the newer ones, even pre-Awakening, are actually really good. So there's definitely a bit of an imbalance there. Just let the mode be a round of 1v1s, let the stage drop tickets, stones, medals, or Hercule statues. Get rid of the map, yeah. Give us the ability to link level. A lot of people have said this because obviously it does cost stamina, right? So if you're somebody like me who's been grinding it pretty hard all weekend, I've spent a whole bunch of stones. Like, I have 280 something stamina when it's full. So, you know, I've spent thousands of stamina already, and obviously you can't get any link levels. Now, the flip side to that, of course, is if you want to grind, like, the most optimal way of doing it, of course, is to have a full link level 10 team. So it's not necessarily as useful for a lot of people, but I know some people will have certain units or certain team builds that they only use for the World Tournament, so that would be pretty decent. Yeah, see, again, Jotaro here says that link leveling, since it costs you dozens of stamina bars. Having one fight in the prelims, yep. I'm thinking they should keep the finals in, but change what you do. So maybe they mix it up. One final is like the punching bag event. Whoever gets the highest wins the round. Then they can increase the rates. The problem with that kind of thing is, obviously, it could definitely come down to RNG. Like, if you are on, like, you know, you're at 9 wins in a row, you want to get to 10 wins in a row to complete that mission or something, and then you get to the final and you just get completely shafted with the RNG, because we all know what the punching bag event is like. And your, like, big hitter is in slot 7 or whatever, so then you just get a really bad score, and then you lose. And then you lose your winning streak. So it definitely would be interesting to throw some sort of change in there. It'd be interesting, actually, kind of like Street Fighter with the bonus rounds. They could throw in something like that, where it's like a mini punch bag thing, and you just get a massive amount of bonus points depending on the score you get. Because then even if you do get screwed over with the RNG and you don't get a great score, you're still just getting a bunch of bonus points. So that could be quite interesting. Yep, get rid of the prelims and shorten it. I don't need World Tournament for 3 days. I think that's one of the biggest problems, is because it's so long. Because even if you're somebody who can dedicate like a whole day to grinding, but you can't do the full 3 days, you're going to lose your placement. You're just going to drop way down, even if you even if you're able to play it a little bit over the following 2 days. If you can't grind it full on for the whole time, you are going to lose your position like pretty quickly. And so yeah, here we go. Here's the old Goresh, common Goresh ratio. We're coming in with a cheeky comment. I see this most of the time on Toon's tweets, where Goresh will just reply okay and immediately ratio him. But here we have it for me with just saying delete it, which, I mean, yeah, the World Tournament is not a great mode, but the idea is we want to try and fix it, make it good, make it better, rather than just get rid of it. Because if it was good and was fun to do and didn't feel like as much of a grind, it would be nice extra content. And then maybe if they made it a bit shorter, maybe the overall rewards wouldn't be as good. But if they made it shorter and less grindy, then maybe we could have one more regularly, like once every month, and then that's just more content for the game. But obviously, I wouldn't want them to do that now. I don't want a World Tournament once every month while it still is the way it is. But yeah, it's I'd rather they fix it than just get rid of it. So prelims, yep. Someone mentioning Chain Battle. Chain Battle's still worse than the World Tournament. Changed my mind. Spoilers, you can't. I made an 18-minute video explaining why the World Tournament is better than Chain Battle. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. Make it 12 hours a day for 6 days, or still just 3, but if you have any sort of life, you automatically lose to the insomniac with a fridge full of energy drinks, or the couple of guys having a sleepover playing in shifts. That's a great way of describing it, but it's also very true. I personally believe that there's no way the people who finish in the top 5 are not multiple people sharing the same account around, because once in the past, the highest I've ever finished in the World Tournament was in the top 100. I did it once, and I did it by playing it non-stop all weekend, and I think I only slept for like 3 or 4 hours a night, and I still only got into the top 100. Now, there's still going to be a little bit of leeway, because some people who have like faster phones, or, you know, their team's fully rainbow, whatever, like they might be able to complete each run of the World Tournament slightly faster than you. And obviously that builds up when you start factoring in the fact that you're completing it hundreds of times. But yeah, the score difference between like someone who's grinded like I did and then the people who are in the top, even top 10, is they're just so astronomically far above you that I feel like it must be people play. Like whoever is literally finishing number 1, I feel like they're either a team of people taking it in turns, or they are literally an AI or something, but there you go. Remove the need for stamina. So I think that would be interesting, but obviously for people that grind, I know for me, I don't like being at full stamina. Like if I've been doing a whole bunch of Super Battle Road attempts over the weekend and I notice I'm at full stamina, I'll take a quick break to do link leveling or something. So it'd be interesting, because obviously then people would all be on an even playing field, because for people, like I said earlier in the video, if you don't have as much maximum stamina, you're also more limited to how much you can grind, because you have to spend more stones to refill all the time, whereas obviously the more stamina you have, you don't have to do it as regularly. So if it didn't cost stamina, everyone would be on an even playing field. But yeah, our boy Camo says remove the preliminary round. Yep. 5 ticket multi to the Dragon Ball banner. I can't believe they don't have that yet as well, because we have 2 different types of tickets for that banner, but you can only do singles. They're so annoying. Like, I've got a whole bunch of tickets, and then sometimes I just can't be bothered to summon on that banner because you have to do it one by one. So that would be nice. Get rid of the map. Yep. Make a chilled reward. Oh, okay, yeah. I recognise this name from asking questions on the 5-9 podcast all the time. Chilled needs a good card. So, of course, he says make a chilled reward card. I mean, I wouldn't mind a good chilled card in the game. Probably only free to play. XP gain is a percentage of your current XP bar, so every player can receive a fair amount of XP. That's actually quite interesting, because I remember back in the day when I was a much lower rank, you could actually rank up from doing the World Tournament, which then obviously helps because it refills your stamina. Whereas for me, at the level that I'm at and the amount of stamina that I need to rank up, because I think I'm at like almost rank 830, then yeah, even doing the tournament like 100 times barely puts a dent in that. So make a seasonal tournament of power with elements of PvP where the winner gets to wish for certain things. I think that would be kind of cool if they revamped it. So obviously the World Tournament has been like the Earth World Tournament theme for a long time. If they revamped it and made it into a whole new thing, give it the Tournament of Power theme, I think that's a kind of cool idea. It's like the winner gets wishes, because that's obviously the point of the tournament other than not being erased, I guess. But yeah, it'd be kind of interesting if they did revamp it to change the themes a little bit as well. It'd be pretty cool. Someone else mentioned the survival stage. Like I said, I think that would be a great event, but maybe not as a replacement for the World Tournament. Hate the movement system. Yeah, exactly. Get rid of the map. It's awful. Release the preliminaries, unlock the difficulties, remove the maps. Yep. So again, obviously seeing a lot of repeated points here now, because we've gone over most things. We'll get rid of preliminaries, link leveling, make it give you... Yeah, see, that's the thing. If you have to use thousands of stamina every weekend, at least give you decent rank XP. Make it count towards missions. Yeah, exactly. For people that want to grind hardcore, you can't do the daily missions by doing the World Tournament, which is annoying. So all of those are very good points. Make it less repetitive and allow link leveling. Drop certain category bonuses. This idea has come up a couple of times, which I think is pretty good. The category bonuses. We've got someone put an essay here. Let's have a quick look. Remove the wins in a row mission. I think wins in a row mission is fine. Replace the GSSR and Dragon Ball tickets with generic tickets that can be traded in the shop for specific units. That would be quite cool for trading in for those specific units. So like the Dragon Ball tickets, rather than using them, if you could trade in a whole bunch for specific units. Because that banner, some of the SSRs are super hard for people to get. Remove global ranking and make local division get all the rewards. No more trying to be top 2,000 for the units copies. If you're topping the local, you get everything. I think this is what a huge change. I think a lot of people like the overall global leaderboard because it gives you something to go for. Like for me, even without grinding too hard, as long as I go at it fairly consistently, I can be #1 in the local pretty much every time. And then that obviously completely screws over everybody else that's in the local. I think at this point now, I'm way over double the points of the person who's in second place. Get rid of the game board, yeah. Basically, the idea is to make the game mode more tolerable, changes to annoying missions, better rewards. Everyone only plays it for the rewards. Well, exactly. No one's playing it because they enjoy it, right? So, #1. Yeah, some people care about getting high in the global rankings, but not everybody does. True World Tournament will just get more backlash. People complain about Wales. So, I think, yeah, exactly. They can't make it like proper PvP, but shout out to Air Normals for that extensive reply. Remove the prelims, add a coin feature to get the LRs just like the other units in the game. Yeah, shout out to True finally getting that last copy of Piccolo, but yeah, some of the certain units are a lot harder to get. Update the rates to get SSRs on the World Tournament banner, yep. Give meat as a mission reward, that'd be pretty good, save less stamina. Get rid of the prelims, yep. Get rid of the board, make it like easy A's, exactly. Add an auto feature, yep, exactly. Prelim, yeah, a lot of these points are all the same now. A lot of repeated things here. I think a lot of these are going to be the same, but people say just delete it, get rid of the map. Yeah, exactly. So there you go. That is a whole bunch of the community responses. A lot of repeated points here. So the big ones, the big ones are remove the map. Maybe get rid of the preliminaries, although I don't think people would mind as much if they didn't have the map. If it worked like an easy A and the prelim was you just literally did 3 fights back to back and then you were done, and then the next fight, obviously still no map, but there's only one, I think people wouldn't mind as much about the prelims. But yeah, get rid of the map. If it's going to cost so much stamina, maybe giving decent XP bonuses or link levels would be good. Layer count towards missions. Like, there's a lot of things they could do without having to fundamentally change the core gameplay, which would just make the event a lot less stressful and a bit more fun for most people. So I think that would be a really good move. If you didn't get a chance to reply, or I didn't read out yours specifically, you know, please let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. And yeah, I'm gonna get back to the grind, but let me know what you think. How can they fix the World Tournament? I'm sure those key points that were repeated a lot, I feel like most people would agree, but let me know your thoughts down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.